Thanks, Dr. Small, for being here. So next, I'm just going to give a few minutes to Dr. Eric Small to discuss the potential of a CNS metastasis research hub.
Well, thank you so much for allowing me to do this remotely. It's just life in the big city. I have been listening into this morning session. It's been awesome, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the day. Both Maritza and John and Michelle and I have spoken about this, and this initiative of getting people interested in CNS metastasis together probably has a 10-year history or so. And so this is really, Michelle, you will recall us thinking about this way, way, way back. And so this is really wonderful to see. So what I'd like to do is just very, very briefly talk about ways that the Cancer Center can help this pretty cool initiative. Just for those of you who are not familiar, would remind you that the Cancer Center has 7 formally funded programs that are funded by the NCI Cancer Center Support Grant, which parenthetically is going in for its 5-year renewal in September, so we're busy. These are the 7 programs. For those of you who've been here a while, there used to be 10. We've sort of begun to integrate them a little and realign them a little bit more. And there's 4 that are very disease-oriented. On the left, brain tumors is one, a spectacular neuro-onc program, breast cancer, prostate cancer, and pediatric malignancies. And then there's some cross-cutting programs and molecular oncology, which includes our early phase initiative and genomics initiatives, cancer immunology and immunotherapy, and cancer control. And probably everyone in the room and online belongs to one of these programs. It should be immediately apparent that not all disease types are encompassed by this. Doesn't mean that there isn't research in other disease types. This is simply a grantsmanship decision of how best to aggregate our research and present it to reviewers. For each one of these programs, there's a premium placed on transdisciplinary research, where the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. And typically these programs all have a basic laboratory component, a clinical component, and a strong translational component, and a population science component. Obviously, the research conducted in these programs comprises only a portion of the total research conducted in the Cancer Center. Although, we would hope, for example, that, melanoma will largely find its memberships within cancer immunology and immunotherapy. Now, this is all good and well. It's a grantsmanship artifact, so I don't want people to feel like these are the only programs in the center. One of the things that we've developed has been these transdisciplinary research hubs. And we view research hubs as means of encompassing research that cuts across the center. It can be comprised of both disease-oriented groups that are already extant and working, and melanoma is one, and the GI oncology is another, and so forth. But we really want to focus on cross-cutting research groups. And these groups have been identified in a number of ways, either because they're long-standing interest groups, such as this one, newly self-identified. The Cancer Center leadership has been charged with it, and many of you participated in a 2-year-long process, which we called Cancer 2030, which was our strategic planning process, which identified a number of focal points for the future. And there's really no dramatic difference between a research hub and a full program, except that the research hubs are developing. The premium is still on transdisciplinary research. Here's some examples. Many of these that are under the slide's a little bit old, but many of those that are under development and launched are in fact launched. So SAS, survivorship and symptom science. We recently, many people in this room participated in an amazing cancer and cognition symposium, a recruitment science, integrative oncology, and geriatric oncology. And there's a number of others that are under development. And CNS metastases falls in that category. So why are hubs important, and what needs to go forward? Well, what we hope in the center, in the Cancer Center, from hubs like this that are cross-disciplinary, is for the hubs to develop potential leaders, and those are already clear in this group with Marissa and Michelle's leadership, to develop a really broad, inclusive listserv for anyone who's interested in the area. And so the Cancer Center can help with that in using our broad mailing list and really beating the bushes. And to launch regular meetings of this group of people with to focus on our UCSF research. And this, in fact, is the first such iteration of that. We have long found in the center, and you know, this meeting was put together by Marissa, Michelle, and John, to their credit, without engagement of the Cancer Center. But what we found in the center is that when you do this, bringing people together makes a difference. And one of the things that we hope happens from these meetings is the next to two last bullets, which is to undertake an inventory of what's going on in research, and people will come out of the woodwork. Those of you who are in the room probably already knew a lot about each other, but the goal is to bring people out of the woodwork, and we in the Cancer Center will hopefully help with that. To undertake a gap analysis, and importantly, to ask the question, what's missing and how do we get there in this research? And there's relatively few places in the country that do this. And UCSF is perfectly situated to really become a leader. And importantly, the Cancer Center will put some money into the initiative. So we have developmental funds available for hubs. I just finished dispersing $1 million this last year, and it was all used for supporting pilot grants across hubs and programs. And so the goal is that money speaks and it gets people interested. And the types of pilot grants that have been supported by research hubs are ones that involve investigators that weren't previously working together, or early career faculty investigators, or transdisciplinary stuff, things that really sort of builds that synergy that we want to see. So our 2022 funds have been fully dispersed. We're scrambling with a grant right now, so I can't tell you a whole lot more about the next year, but we fully anticipate that we'll have funding for that again. Our grant goes in September, our site visit is in January, February, so we anticipate RFA probably early next year, and we will be in touch with Marissa and Michelle to get that set up, and would encourage everyone obviously to participate, and so just stay tuned. So lastly, I just want to thank all of you. I mean, this is just amazing stuff. And it's really, really exciting to see. And I have no doubt that this is going to grow significantly. And who knows, 5, or if we get an extended renewal, 7 years from now, maybe there'll be a CNS metastasis program in the Cancer Center. So thanks again for your attention. Thank you for allowing me to participate. I'm looking forward to the rest of the day. Thanks.